Hello friends, my name is Smruti Vasavada and today we are going to start with the new subject Finance for HR Professionals and Compensation Management. Let us now understand compensation tools. Compensation tools are the tools made by the organization for their employees for motivating, retaining them in an organization. An organization focuses on equitable or equal pay or fair wages to each and every employee of an organization. Compensation tools are divided into two types: job-based and skill-based. Let us now understand the job-based compensation tool. Job-based compensation tool is a traditional method of compensation management. It is a widely used method of compensation plan. It assumes that a person works only if he gets paid for the work done. The primary objective is to allocate pay to the most important work of an organization. It assumes that not each and every work of an organization is equally important. Let us now understand the advantages of job-based compensation tool. Although job-based compensation tool is old and outdated, still it has various advantages. The first is emphasis on specialization and seniority. An organization pays special attention to specialization and seniority. If a person has spent more number of years in an organization, he gets a rise in the pay accordingly. Similarly, a fresher in the organization gets paid less as compared to the other person. The next one is employee promotion and pay raise. Employees' promotion and pay raise is done on the basis of seniority. For example, if a person has spent more number of years in an organization, he gets promotion accordingly and the pay raise is done according to the promotion. The next one is easy to administer. Job-based compensation plan is easy to administer because we just have to see the work that is more important as well as the person who has stayed in the organization for longer time. The next one is stable and predictable. Job-based compensation plan is very stable and it can also be predicted very well. Because if a person has spent more number of years in an organization or if he is doing something that is very much important for an organization, he gets pay or he gets pay raise accordingly. The next one is used in various situations. Job-based compensation plan is easy to determine because if an organization has the function that are very stable or that are very routine in nature, it can easily be determined and it can also be applied in various situations. Let us now discuss about the disadvantages of job-based compensation tool. Job-based compensation tool has various disadvantages. The first one is it is very subjective. In the terms of seniority, specialization, number of years spent or the work done, the equal important work done or the non-important ones. The next one is it does not consider the type of business. Each and every business are divided into various types and accordingly they have various problems related to that. Job-based compensation plan does not consider the type of business and its problem. The next one is in case of high level organization, if a person reaches to the top level, he has no scope for pay raise. The next one is it is rigid and inflexible. As I said, there are two persons. Say for person A has joined recently, he is a fresher, and person B has completed around 10 plus years in an organization. Even if the person A has a very high knowledge, high educational skills, still he won't be considered for the promotion or pay raise. So it is considered as very rigid or inflexible. The next one is data collected by market surveys are not accurate. There are various researchers in the market and they collect data for various subjects. Say for example, wages and salary of an employee. If a researcher collects data of an organization that follows job-based compensation plan, the data that they get is not accurate. Let us now understand the other type of compensation plan, that is skill-based compensation plan. Skill-based compensation plan focuses on skill as the basis of their pay. All the employees in an organization joins or starts at the same level, and they advance one level when they achieve or master in a particular skill. Here, the promotion or pay raise is done on the basis of the skills acquired by them. Skill-based compensation plan are divided into three types: depth, horizontal and vertical. Depth compensation plan means an employee becomes an expert in the specialized area. For example, an employee becoming an expert in marketing area, or in production area, or in sales, or say for example in finance. The next one is horizontal compensation plan. Horizontal compensation plan means here an employee learns more and more about the job within the firm. He goes horizontally. The next one is vertical. Vertical compensation plan means self-management abilities such as scheduling, training, coordinating, guidance, leadership, etc. Skill-based compensation plan can be seen in various sectors. Some of the examples are hotel, telecommunication, insurance, etc. Let us talk about the advantages of skill-based compensation plan. Skill-based compensation plan has various advantages as it focuses on the skills of an employee. The first example is it creates flexible workforce by encouraging them for the performance of multiple tasks. In skill-based compensation plan, the organization encourages the employee to acquire more and more skills as he can perform multiple tasks. He becomes a multiple tasker. The next one is employee control over the compensation. In skill-based compensation plan, employee has the entire control over the compensation management. As I said, all the employees start at the same level. But if a particular employee starts on acquiring new skills day by day, his pay automatically increases. He has a pay raise according to the skills acquired by him. So, each and every employee of an organization has the control over the compensation of the organization. The next one is job enlargement and enrichment. Job enlargement or enrichment means each and every employee starts performing various jobs which is not related to his particular profile. As I said, when there is a horizontal compensation plan, an employee is working in the marketing department. He will start working with production department. He will start working with sales department. He will go horizontally. Whereas, if there is a vertical compensation plan, in vertical compensation plan, the employee will start coordinating, will have leadership skills, will start training, development. So here, there is a job enlargement and enrichment of the employee. The next one is productivity and quality through the better use of human resource. Here, the organization makes efficient use of human resources. So, there is a rise in productivity and there is a rise in quality of the work done by the employees. Let us now talk about the disadvantages of skill-based compensation plan. Skill-based compensation plan has various disadvantages. The first one is high compensation. If an employee starts acquiring new skills day by day, the organization has to incur the high compensation charges to get him compensated for the skills acquired for promotion or pay raise. The next one is training cost. If an employee wishes to get trained or developed in the organization, all the costs related to his training and development has to be incurred by the organization. The next one is employee at the top level has no scope for pay raise. Once an employee reaches the highest level or at the top level, he has no scope for pay raise because he has acquired all the possible skills required for the promotion or for the pay raise. The next one is attaching monetary value to skills. In skill-based compensation plan, we are indirectly attaching monetary value to each and every skill acquired. There are various skills required for promotion or for the pay raise.